already. Okay, let us see. Scott. Paris. Plate. There. Andrew Harris. And who again? Aliora. Yeah. Thompson. Oh. And let's start this class. Hello, everyone. Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
How are you guys doing?
Yes, sir. Doing well.
Good. You?
All right, let's begin. As usual, I like to start from your classroom. Show you what we have this week, and then we can go from there. So I'm taking you there. You can see my announcement. So once we begin our class next week, which is forecasting. After the forecasting, I will give you your first homework. For now, we are working on classwork. Classwork is actually have more grade than homework. So we are good. So we're still on. This is week 4. We are still on the same handout, the presentation and the spreadsheet. This is the classwork you do with your group. When you click on it, you can see. Oh, let me make sure you're seeing this. Yeah, okay. When you click on it, you see the equation. And we're going to do an example of this today. So I will recommend don't start yet until we finish our class today. Okay. So the reading is still this chapter 3 that we are in. We finish it today, and then the only assignment you have is a classwork, which is due tonight, but you can still submit it tomorrow. I'll accept it, no problem. You and your one person, so you work with your group, and then your group leader can submit for the group. So last week I introduced you to this project. We are still on project management. If you recall my explanation, that a project simply means the unique set of activities or tasks that must be completed to achieve a specific goal within a limited time and cost by utilizing, of course, the appropriate resources, usually on a job site. I mean, if it's a construction project, yeah, of course, even if it's not a construction project, it's still going to be on a job site. Like if a community have an epidemics of, say, flu, now the county might decide, let me call it a county might decide to undergo a project of, even before as the epidemic is going on, to eliminate those flu viruses by injecting everybody, beginning at a particular time and ending at a particular time, to make sure that those who have not been infected will not be infected. America has something like that in the past. That was when they eliminated polio from United States. So they have a project of who will develop the vaccine. And I think two scientists were able to develop the vaccine, and they won Nobel Prize for that. And the project worked. Polio was eventually eliminated in America. So many of you don't even know what polio is because this project was done a long time ago, like more than 60, call it about 50, 60 years ago, I believe. No, actually, I think longer than that. Probably 70 years ago. Yeah. That's why you don't hear about polio, because the project worked and polio was eradicated. That's the right word to use, eradicated. So now projects sometimes we view it as a subset, sometimes, not all the way, always, a subset of a larger program that can involve multiple organizations. Now, when the COVID-19 struck, finding a vaccine was a project. I think three pharmaceutical companies took it as a project, and with the grant from the Federal Department of Health, U.S. Department of Health, they were able to find a vaccine and then started uh, vaccinating people. Eventually, COVID-19 is still there, but it is no longer a threat as it used to be during that time. Or have lockdowns. Now, projects are composed of activities that may be further divided into tasks. For example, if the project is to construct a road or to resurface a main road, they're going to be first of all, the county or the city will advertise for bidding, for contractors to bid on the project. Then each of them will now bring their quotations. And then after that, they put their design and costing and hiring of the labor and getting materials. Different tasks that can be done. Then they start to scrape and resurface, the road. So I think you get the picture. We covered this already last week, so I'm not. I know you should be fine. Now, we have two classes of projects. There's one we call well-defined projects, or what we call waterfall projects. There's one that we call a defined project or agile project. Now, well-defined projects are so called because they follow a clear step. Yes, they follow a clear step or pattern is clear step. Clear steps, one after another. And you must finish one step completely before moving to the next step. So we call it waterfall project because the steps flow downwards, like water falling from top to bottom. So there are many examples of this type of project, like the Sydney Opera House that was originally planned using waterfall approach. So they have clear step, stage one, stage two, even phases. How about Apple? When Apple launched I think the latest one is Apple 17, I think, iPhone 17, I think. It's a waterfall project because there's this initiation of the project, there is the design, there is a lot of activities involved eventually. And as they are doing it, they were promoting it at the same time. Promotion and marketing is part of the project. So by the time it is ready they're ready to release, Apple was ready to release it. People already know about it, and they're waiting to buy it. A lot of people bought it. I bought one for my wife, so and she's very happy about that. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what a full project is.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So Davin is trying to join. Davin W. She's trying to join.
Who?
Davin.
Devin. Hey, what happened, Devin? What do you want? What do you need?
No, she's trying to join the class. She said that you didn't let her in yet.
I didn't?
No.
I just allowed some people now. Let me see. I just let some people in now. Maybe she's among them. What she said, Devin?
Yes, DAVYNN.
What? I think I just I allowed some people in just now. She's probably one of them. Okay, if I'll be looking out for her name. As soon as if we come again, I will just get her in. Okay. So you can see I've given you Apple, I've given you the Sydney Opera House. Then let's take a quick look at the features of the waterfall projects, our well-defined projects. One, it require extensive planning. Like when Apple was trying to build the iPhone, even the first iPhone required a lot of planning. And they did it so well that it was able to knock out BlackBerry. The BlackBerry was the first, I would call it the first smartphone we had before Apple came and then took the cake. For example, building a skyscraper involves careful planning of each phase from foundation to finishing. Now, of course, there are going to be some constraints too. That's number two, constraints. For example, NASA's space shuttle program was bound by...
She's trying again.
Huh?
She said that she's trying again to join the class.
She's trying again?
Yeah.
I don't see her. I don't see, because if somebody is trying to join in, I see. Can you see the screen, sir? Sir, can you see the screen? I want to show you something.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
You see this person is trying to join. Can you see the name here?
I mean, the screen is frozen.
It's frozen?
It's on the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone's
at the bottom.
Yeah, when he's trying to join, you see the name here. I'm seeing it. Like this person, Benjamin Tolliver is trying to join. So I'm gonna admit her. So I haven't seen her name shown up here yet. Even if anybody is trying to join, the name will show up, and I will accept the name. Maybe she's having. Let me write her name down so that. What's her name again? Let me check her.
DABYNN.
DABYNN. Is that the last name?
Make sure she's clicking on the right link too. There's two announcements with two different links on it.
Probably that's why. Maybe she's using it long. But what's her last name? Do you know?
Tell her to click on the February 4th link.
Do you know her last name?
No. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it from here. Oh, I see her name here. She was in. Yeah,
She was in last week's class.
Okay. Well, I put a check mark on her name just in case, so that he will not be. Oh, I just see her. I'm just seeing her name now. That's her right here. So she's in now. Yeah.
Thank you. I was stressed.
She's in now. So now well-defined specifications too. This type of project requires that. For example, the Burj Khalifa project is this the skyscraper in Dubai. It's considered to be the world's tallest structure. And it followed the building of that, the Burj Khalifa followed a strict plan with little deviation during the building process. Now, the other class of project is the A-defined project or agile project. This type of project require, they are called agile project because they involve many unknowns. And usually we have this kind of project in a software. If you look at it, if you remember, or if you will remember, your phone, sometimes they text you that they want to update. Yeah. Because the development of software they use is a good example of this type of agile project or a defined project, because they keep finding out maybe some vulnerability and they want to close it up. So it's a good example of agile project. They keep updating or they keep changing. It requires a lot of unknowns. So when the unknowns become known, they want to update. So agile projects involve many unknowns and evolving requirements. And another feature of this kind of project is that the project specification may change over time as new needs or opportunities arise. So I gave you an example with your phone already. Even anything that uses software The software actually itself, the applications, are a good example of this kind of project. So for this type of project, we have a lot of unknowns and evolving requirements, which requires team to apply or to adapt quickly to changes. So we call it agile projects. Now, another feature of this kind of project is that it progresses through small, manageable stages with constant reassessment. I've already given an example with app and the software. There's a company that is called Spotify. So it regularly updates its app with new features after analyzing user behavior in each version. Google Chrome is another type. They update and then you update. As the computer will allow you to update. Yeah. Airbnb did that too. When Airbnb was introduced, and they developed their online platform, the process followed at the agile project approach, which allowed the company to grow iteratively based on user experience and feedback. Yeah. So now at this point, we are ready to introduce two concepts. One is called a PERT, which means Program Evaluation and Review Technique. And the other one is the Critical Path Method. So these two concepts are very important when it comes to project management. Okay. They are network techniques that are developed to manage complex projects. So both PERT and CPM, which is the critical path method, help identify relationships between project activities and the time required to complete them. Example, we have NASA. NASA's Apollo space mission use PERT approach. But Hoover Dam construction, the critical path method was used when the Hoover Dam was being constructed. Now, let us get a little history about these two concepts. Critical path method was created in 1957 by DuPont. DuPont is actually DuPont. DuPont used to be a very big company. It's still big today, as a matter of fact, because they are still to be traded in the stock market. Now they now move into chemicals, making of chemicals that are used by scientists in the lab. But it used to be during the American Revolution, American Civil War, I mean to say, they are the people that produce the gunpowder that soldiers used to fight the war. So, and during this Second World War, it was DuPont working with the US at the Manhattan, I think they call it the Manhattan Project, I think they call it, to develop the nuclear bomb that ended the Second World War. It's DuPont. So anyway, DuPont in 1957 created the critical path method. Today, DuPont is just a chemical plant company. PERT, on the other hand, was developed in 1958 by Booz, Allen, and Hamilton. This company actually is a consulting company. Okay, the consulting company that work with the US Navy. Polaris. A lot of people came in just now. Yeah. That work with the US Navy for the Polaris project. So the the critical path method, when I say critical path method, best way to explain it is that is a way to plan all the tasks that are involved in a project. First of all, you list the tasks that need to be done in that project. Then you figure out how long each task will take and number of tasks that must be finished before others can start. After that, You now get, identify the longest chain of tasks that must be completed for that project. Now, this longest chain of tasks is critical, called the critical path. If any task in that chain is delayed, the whole project will be delayed. Yeah. So that's what they call it the critical path method. Yeah. Now, let's see 6 steps that we follow when we use these two approach, PERT or critical path method. First of all, you define the project and prepare the work breakdown structure. Then you develop relationship develop the relationship among the activities, which involve deciding which activity must precede and which must follow others. For example, if it's a building project, let's say you are building a house, of course, you have to get the building permit. I think design, then get the building permit first. So see, design, then the building permit. Now, even if once you get the permit, without the building permit, you cannot even build anything. So once you get the permit, you have to make the foundation before you build the wall. So some tasks can be performed before others. Some tasks cannot even start unless some other tasks have already been performed. Then you draw a network that connects all the activities. Then assign time. Time can be days or months, and assign both time and cost estimate to those activities. Then compute the longest path through the network. That is the critical path. If that critical path is completed, that's how you know that this project will be completed. Then use network to help plan, schedule, and monitor and control the project. So here are some questions that PERT and critical path methods can help project managers to answer. First one is, when will this entire project be completed? What are the critical activities or tasks in the project? Which are the normal, what are normal non-critical activities? Okay. What is the probability the project will be completed by a specific date? Is the project on schedule, behind schedule, or ahead of schedule? Is the money spent equal to, less than, or greater than the budget? Are there enough resources available to finish the project on time? If the project must be finished in a short time, what is the way to accomplish this at the least cost? So these are the kind of questions that the project managers using these two approaches are able to answer by using them. At this point, we are going to look at network diagrams. Network diagrams. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Network diagram. Okay, let me look at this. All right. So network diagram simply means a graph that shows all the tasks in a project and the order they must be done. So in a network diagram, you have a graph that uses small circles or what you call nodes connected by arrows or branches to show precedence relationship. When we say precedence relationship, I want you to take a look at this. When we say precedent relationships, okay, right here, we say it basically connects precedence in that aspect, means what should be done first before the next one. So we call it precedent relationships, because network diagram help us to find that. Excuse me. So in other words, in project management, when we say that precedence, from your English class, precede. So precedence relationship means the logical sequence in which task must be performed, where one task start or complete or depends on the other task. For example, if you are building a house, building a wall depends on, to a very large extent, on building the foundation first, before you can build a wall. Build the foundation, get it done for your wall. So let's try an example of this. Let's try an example. It says, an oil pipeline is to be constructed. It's to be constructed. I hope you guys can see the screen very well. Okay, good. All right. An oil pipeline is to be constructed from Wyoming location A, that is the A is considered to be the Wyoming location, through some combinations of terrain to a distribution center F at the least cost. Alternative routes and construction costs in millions are also shown. What is the least cost route? Okay. Now I'm assuming that you know what a pipeline is. Let me show you in the picture. You can see a pipeline like this one can carry gas, actually usually carry crude oil, that have been sent to the refineries. And you can pass through forests and valleys and Anyway, this is what is being constructed. So it says, look, from a Wyoming location A through the combination of terrain to a distribution center F, as shown in the network diagram. You can see the network diagram right here. This network diagram. This is the Wyoming location. Let me make it big so you can see it. Okay. I hope you can see better. See, this is where it is being constructed. There are two pathways you can follow. After you follow this path, the destination is here. This is the distribution center. Let me make sure you're seeing this. Okay, good. So this is the distribution center, and to get from this point to the distribution center, the pipeline can follow three pathways, and you are trying to figure out which pathway is the least expensive and more. You say alternative routes and construction costs in millions are shown. Which is the least cost route? Which of these routes is the least cost? You can see that this route from here, if you follow this route, A, B, E, and F, that means 2 million here. From A to B, the cost is 2 million. From B to E, $4 million, and from E to F, $3 million. If you follow straight, you can see 1 million and 7. So you say, which is the least cost route? To answer that question, I'm going to send you, because like I said in the class, any work involving calculations, you have to do it in Excel, just like your class work will be done in Excel. So we're going to follow it. I'm going to take you to Excel so you can see the calculation for this. So you have, I have my Excel right here. You can see it. Let me move this and remove this out. So you can see it right here, here. So if you look at this, the first part is from this first part, you can see, like I show on the screen, will be A, B, E, F. And I have it on the Excel, A, B, E, F. And for A, B, E, F, you have from A to B is 2 million, from B to E is 4 million, and from E to F is 3 million. So let us calculate it. We go to that place. I have total cost equal 2 plus 4 plus 3, giving us $9 million. Okay, it's $9 million. Now, from this pathway, which will be A to C, C to E, E to F. A to C is 1 million, C to E is 5 million, then E to F is 3 million. So I put everything on the Excel. You can see right A, C, F. So 1 plus, so we have calculated this one and can just do equals. Okay, good. 1 plus 5 plus 3. And press the enter. Okay, give it again. This one also give me 9 million as well. So I'm gonna put 9 million then. So from this pathway, which involves A to C, which is 1 million, C to F, which is 7 million. So it involves three nodes. We have equals 1 plus 7. That gives me 8 million. Then last pathway is A to D, which is 6 million, then D to F, which is 5 million. So I'm gonna follow that one. So we have equals this one plus that one. Give me 11 million. So the question was to find, say what is the least cost route. So from what we have calculated so far, you will see that this is the least cost route right here. This one here, because it's 8 million. So the least cost route is 8 million. And as you can see, I did the calculation. When I click on my answer, I can see that it showed the work right here at the top. Any question in this? Any question on this
But
one?
just by looking at the diagram, you can tell that that path was the shortest or least expensive.
Yeah, of course. Some people can. This one is if it is simple like this, yes. But if it's a complicated diagram, you have to go through different routes. That it becomes a challenge to some extent. So, but like I said, proof. In Russia, they say prove, trust, but verify. So, a way of proving it is by doing it in Excel, and then so that I can get, proof that you actually understand it. Any other question on this? Okay. All right, let's see. So that's what I was explaining on this session. Let's now take a look at a comparison between the two networks that we use. There's one we call AON, and there's one called AOA network. So AON simply means activity on nodes, and AOA means activity on arrow. So both of them help project managers to visualize tasks, dependencies, and timeline. And they serve the same purpose of project planning and control. However, AON is more widely used because it is more simple and easy to apply. So let us look at AON. So for AON, the nodes or boxes represent the activities. When I say node, I'm talking about these circles. Okay. Now the arrows represent the dependencies between them. For example, if you start from here, you have to do this task before you can do task A first, before you can do task C. Without doing task A first, you can't do task C. Let's say that starting is to start means, let's say that it means getting building permit. Then next is to foundation. You cannot build a wall unless you build a foundation. That'll give you an idea what I mean by that. So in software development, for example, companies like Google and even Microsoft use AON diagram for agile projects where each task, things like coding, testing, and deployment, is a node, and dependencies becomes the arrows, so they can iterate. To help managers to help them to manage the iterative nature of their projects. Now, if you look at this, let me expand this so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me expand this. So when you look at this, the circles represent the task. Okay, of course, the box, you have the start and finish. This is the starting point for the project. This is where it will be finished. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, good. Finished. Now, if you look at this, the circles stand for, I have already mentioned it, activities or tasks, and the arrows stand for dependencies. Now, but the numbers inside shows how many days each task will be completed. Like this task A can be completed in 2 days, task E 7 days, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we show months, how many months to be completed. So from this start here, this is where the project begins. And it has 2 activities, activity A and B. Activity A takes 2 days, B takes 5 days, which means that A and B can start at the same time, because see, 2 days, 5 days, the way they are arranged here, I'm sure that both of them can be started at the same time, A and B. Okay, but we have that after activity A, 2 days, goes to activity E, 7 days. So it takes A to B, 7 days. Then activity A also goes to activity C, from here to C, in 4 days. Then after activity B, this one here, which takes 5 days, we have activity D, which takes 3 days. Then after activity C, this one here, C, which takes 4 days, we can now do activity F, which takes 6 days. Now, activity D takes 3 days, and we have to complete it to get activity F, or to get to activity G, which means that task or activity F, which is this one here, cannot start until we both activity C and D are completed. So you cannot start this one unless this C and D are completed. Off, because the arrows, point to both of them. Now, activity E, this one here, E, which takes 7 days, have activity, you have to complete it to get to activity H. So these two become the precedent to this one. This one becomes the precedence to this one. Okay? So that's how it works. It means that this, like H, for example, cannot be started until both E and F are completed. Okay. Now, activity H, which takes 9 days, well, depend on the type of construction work we are doing. Also, it might be 9 months. It depends on the kind of construction, like the key bridge. I know it's going to take up to 2 years to finish the key bridge. But I'm just using this as an illustration. Now, activity H, which takes 9 days. After activity H, then the project goes to finish here. Okay. Also, after activity G, which is this one here, the project also goes to finish. So the project finishes only when both H and G are completed. So that's how these things work. I mean, it's really simple, just breaking tasks, breaking a project into different tasks. Some of them need to be completed first before the next one have to be completed. So that I think you get the point. Now we can now go to the next type of network diagram. We call it the AOA, which is the activity on arrow. In this other method, this is a little bit more complicated than the AON. So it is less flexible and can be used for to use, it can be harder to use than especially for large projects because it requires what we call dummy activities. Dummy activities actually they are fake activity, but that means it doesn't require I'll put it this way. It does not take any time. It does not use money or workers. It is only used to show the correct order of tasks in the AOA diagram. So I think I would say we can think of dummy activity as a connector that helps to make the diagram clear and correct. That's the best way to see it. So in general, dummy activities are drawn as dashed. We use dashed arrows to show the dummy activities. So we have let's see, this we use it when we are. I mean, it was used when during the construction of the Hoover Dam Project. We used AOA diagrams, and there are some part of the diagrams that where we have the dummy diagrams. For example, we have look at this.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Michael Jabing, he's waiting to get in.
Michael?
Yes, Michael Jabing. He's been waiting to get in. Could you accept him, please?
I didn't see him here.
It says maybe he has the wrong link. Let me try again.
Oh, I see him now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Actually, it's her, right?
I'm sorry.
It's Maya, right? Maya Daniels, right?
I don't think it's Maya Daniels. I'm talking about Michael Jabing. He should be waiting to be let in.
Yeah, I saw Maya. Okay. I'll be looking out for him. If he comes, I'll bring him in. But I haven't seen him on the screen yet. I saw Maya and I just took her in.
Okay,
So,
I'll let him.
yeah. Okay, look at this figure here for this one. As an example, we have where we use this kind of network diagram. So when building a house, you must build the foundation first, then of course do the plumbing before you build the start pouring the concrete. So this is a good example. So in that case, when it comes to that point, let me put it this way: I will show you how this dummy activity will work when we come to this slide. That's right here. Yep, that's what I'm going to show you how it really works. And then so you can see where we can use arrow to indicate dummy variable. So let's see, go back to this place. So you can see the activity arrows, you say 1, 2 to 8 are events. So 8 is this is where it starts, this is where it ends. So and the 1 to 2, 2 to 5, that's 1 to 2, 2 to 5. In the AOA, actually in the AOA, the arrows indicate activities. Like this one indicates arrows, but the circles or nodes indicate the start to finish for the AOA diagrams. Yeah. So I have this one here. Let me reduce the size of this example. Okay, now we look at this. It says to illustrate this formulation, to illustrate the formulation and use of critical path method and PERT network in the AOA diagram network. We'll follow some of these. I'm going to use an example with this one that I just mentioned for here. Construction of electric car power plant. Yeah, that's one I'm going to use. So we're going to use it to illustrate that. Remember that in the AOA diagram, like this one here, this node represent the start and end of activities, while the arrows represent the activities themselves. So now, for this construction of electric power plants, let me enlarge it. Okay. Just as an example. So you can say, okay, then again, the circles or node represent the start or end, while the arrows represent the activities itself. It's bigger, a little bit bigger. You can see it. So now let's start from here. The precedent relationship are indicated by the arrows and circles. For example, the plant design activity, that means from 1 to 2, is the plant design activity, must be completed before anything else. You have to design it first. Okay? Then that means it is the precedent for all of this. Okay? So the selection of the site, which is this here, 2 to 3, which is the selection of the site. Then the vendor and personnel. That means you select the site, select the vendor, and select the personnel that work on it. Takes place concurrently. You can do this one at the same time, but this comes first. Okay, you have to design it, then before you can select the vendor that will build it. Then next one is the excuse me, the generator installation, which is from 5. Select the 2 to 3. Select site, select vendor, select this one. Then next one is to manufacture of the the generator installation. So you install the generator here. So from select the vendor, get the generator, then install it. This one is select the site here, then prepare the site. Okay. So now this installation of generator cannot begin until the site have been prepared, which is from 3 to 5, and the generator has been manufactured. Without this, you cannot install the generator for these two activities. Okay. So then we have then there are really, when we look at this diagram, you see that there are actually 4 parts to it, to the network diagram, from event 1 to 8. So we have the site preparation goes from here 3 to 5, 3 to 5. And the generator manufacturing goes from 4 to 5. They are on different paths. But since they converge at event 5 here, that means prepare the site, manufacture generator, they converge at this event 5. Either could, if you remove either of them, let's say remove this one, but this one is there, it can delay the installation of the generator. Now, in this place now, in this site preparation, when we look at this diagram here, suppose that the site preparation activity is from 3 to 5. Okay, cannot begin until the vendor is notified. So if they want to prepare the site, let's assume that you cannot do it until you notify the vendor, even though it doesn't show on this network diagram. You can show it with a dummy variable. But given that the site preparation activity, which is 3 to 5, cannot begin until the vendor is notified, then it means that the vendor selection activity, which is right here, must be completed before the 3 to 5. can begin. So we can indicate this requirement by means of a dummy activity. Dummy activity. Remember dummy activity. Drawn as a dotted line from 4 to even 3. So you can just put the dotted line here. Let me see if I can put it right here. Let me see if this can help us. Okay, I can get it from here. Dotted line from 4 to even 3. Even 4 is right here to even 3. I should actually put it as an arrow. Let me undo it. Yeah, I'm gonna put right here from 4 to 3 right here. But you have to be let me see. Yep. I'm gonna make it a dotted line. Okay. So that's the dummy right there. Showing that this, even though it doesn't show here, but because vendor selection activity must be completed before we prepare the site. So it wasn't shown in the network that we can just use this arrow to show it. It does not require any just as a reminder that you have to select the vendor first of all before thinking of completing site preparation. Okay. So and we will assign a zero time to it because it's not really part of the network, just that as a way of remind that you must do this part first before you can now prepare the site. So this dummy activity will then create another unique sequence going from 1 to 2 to 4, then to 3. 4 means vendor selection to 3. Then from this we prepare the site 3 to 5, and then from 5 to 7, and then to define, obtain the license, which is the part 8. So this is all these things are like somebody observed before. All these things are really not really difficult. Just a way of making the projects easy by breaking them into these activities. Okay, so that we have make the life of the project manager to be easy, and save their life. I put it that way, save their life. Now we have at this point we're ready to look at some key points. The first one is that is the precedence relationship. They are indicated by arrows and circles. For example, the plant design activity goes from, if you look at the plant design activity, okay, must be done first before anything else can be done actually in the diagram. Without this plant design, you cannot proceed with the rest of them. Okay. Now, then the selection of the site, vendor, and personnel can be done at the same time. But the generator installation, which is 5 to 7, cannot be completed unless it cannot even begin until the site has been prepared, which is 3 to 5, from 3 to 5, and of course the generator have been manufactured, which is 4 to 5, and so on and so forth. So I've already explained what the dummy activity is. So let's quickly take run. I would recommend from here, from this section here, dummy activity. I already explained it, but you can read it up. I prepared the way I made it here is really self-explanatory. You can now come down to this one is a summary of what I explained so far tonight, and then let's go straight to how to find the critical part. This finding the critical part is actually what is the type of question I asked you in the classwork 3. So I would like you to put your ears to the ground as I explain it and show an example. I've already explained what the critical path method is. Critical path is the longest time sequence to complete. The tasks in the critical path are the longest to complete. Once you complete those tasks in the critical path, that's how you know that this project will be complete. But how long it takes you to complete the task, all the tasks in the critical path, will give you an idea of how long the project will take. Any task in the critical path that is delayed will delay the project. Okay. So the steps that are involved in finding the critical path include the following. 1, define the project in terms of activities and events. Then second thing to do is to construct a network diagram showing precedence. Then, of course, you develop the point estimate of each activity time and show it on the network. Then compute the time requirement for each part in the network, and then designate the part with the longest time as the critical part. Okay. So we're going to try question 2. This with so that at least you know how to calculate the critical path. Question 2. So let's look at it. It says the time. Excuse me. The time estimate in months for completing the same power plant construction project is shown in the network diagram. This is the network diagram right here that it's talking about. This one here. You can see the time that is shown there. Okay. So determine the critical path. Okay. So determine the critical path. Then how much slack time is available in the parts containing the operation manual preparation. So look at that. We see where I have the operation. It says okay. It says here that the operation manual preparation is on part C. See, so it's right somewhere. It's right here, part C. So he's taking 3 parts: A, B, and C. Okay. Now, okay, so determine the critical path. So this is how I did it. I'm going to show you on the screen right here. If you look at part A includes, excuse me, part A includes, of course, this is starting where it started. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Now, part B, which is this one, includes 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. And part C is 1, 2, 4, 5. Part C, okay, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 4, and 6, 7, 8. Remember that for this one, you have the for AOA is the activities on the arrows. Okay. Then part D, which is this one here, 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. So the question says determine the critical path. That's the part with the lowest the critical path is the part that it takes the longest time sequence to complete. So let us determine that. So I'm going to put it in Excel. So what I just should I put in Excel right here. Part A is 1 to 2, which takes 12 days, 12 months as a matter of fact, or it can be days. 2 to 3, which takes 8 days. 3 to 5, which takes 12 days. or months. 5 to 4 take 5 to 7 we take 4 months, and 7 to 8 we take 6 months. I have them all written down here. You can see them all here. How many days it take? See? The same thing applies to part B. Part B, actually it's months. From what I just wrote, I can see it's months. Part B shows 1 to 2 is 12 months. 2 to 4 is 4 months. 4 to 5 is 18 months. 5 to 7 is 4 months, and 7 to 8 is 6 months. So you can see them written here. You can see them right here. Then part C, so I have them all written. So now we can now calculate the months, how many months they take. We calculate how many months they take, and excuse me, I'm gonna put this right back. So how many months they take? So the one that takes the longest is the critical path. So this one give us equals, I can just type sum, okay, and okay, then press enter key, get all of them in, get this one. So, but I can't do it for this one because this cell is blank. So this one, I'm going to do this one manually. 12 plus 3 plus 9 plus this. So with this, the one that has the longest time frame in months is this one here. Part B.
Is this the classwork or are you doing an example?
As I'm doing an example.
Okay.
The one in classwork, you have to type the numbers in your, you try to figure out the numbers from the diagram and put them in Excel, and then calculate the critical path. So now I can now this is the longest, and this is the critical path right there, the critical path. So activities in this critical path must be completed. If any of them is not completed, the whole project will be delayed. That's a critical part right there. I'm gonna use a different color to make it. Okay, I'm gonna use light green. So the critical part becomes, I'm gonna just put it right here. I wrote it down here. Critical part is equals this part part B. But if you highlight it, it's good enough. So otherwise you can just type it. Now they also want you to calculate the question. The question also wants you to calculate the slack time. It said how much slack time is available in the part containing the operations manual preparations. Now he says that the part that contains operation manual preparation is part C. Okay. Now so, and this is part C for us. I'll have part C right here. This is part C. So let's say that our critical part is now 44. So I can just put equal and click on 44. Now our slack now becomes the formula for it. Let me show you the formula for the slack time is the critical part minus part C. Okay. So we can now have it in this form.
I have a question.
Good, right here. It's right here. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. Huh? The slack time is right here. Critical part. C minus part C, and we got the critical part to be as to be 44 months. So I have right here. So slack would be critical part minus this part C right here. That gives you the slack time. Yeah, now you can ask your question. So
Yeah, so how did you end up, like, so you said you did the diagram for you to plug the numbers in, but how did you get that specifically? Like, how did you know what to plug in and like that's the correct?
Oh yeah, from here, from the diagram.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm saying, how did you do like the path and the time and stuff like that? Like, what did you do?
You're talking about numbers I put in Excel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me explain that with this one. Okay, this is part A, right?
Okay.
Can you see part A?
Yes.
Good. So I can come here and call this one. This is the part A.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Yep, I got it. Got it. Part A. So part A is right here. And for A, you look at the diagram. Maybe actually let me see if I can copy the diagram and paste it here then in Excel so we can be looking at it as we do it. Yeah. Control C. Let's see if it went. Oh, I think it worked. Okay, good. Excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Won't let me shrink it. Up right here. Okay. Let me move this a little bit. All right. So part A, see, if you're given that A is right here. So from 1, 2, 3, from 1, go from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 5, from 5 to 7, from 7 to 8. 8 is the end point. So it goes from 1 to 2, okay, 2, 3, well, this is A right here. Goes this, all this one. So then 2, 5.
So we're just following the arrows where it says like the letters.
Yeah, this arrow here, yes. So
So
now,
like for B, it'll be like 1, 2, 4, 5, 7.
yeah, do 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Now, how many moons in? Let me just finish the A. 5 to 7. Okay. Then to 6. To 8. Now, from 1 to 2 is 12 months. You put 12 months right there. From 2 to 3 is 8 months. Put 8 months. See? Then from 3, see? 3 to 5. 2 to 5 is 12 months. Put 12 months right there. That's how you put the numbers until you get to the finishing point. Then repeat the same thing for part B. That's what you have it. After that, you can now get a sum to get a critical part and then the slack time. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have the critical part and the slack time. So this is the conclusion for that section. Where's the point? Okay, let me show the PowerPoint. Okay, let me see. Okay. When I was explaining it, were you seeing the way I do it in Excel? So.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, then. In that case, let us.
So I see the path and stuff like that. So, but where did the numbers come from? Like 12, 8, and 12? Because it was frozen for a second.
Okay, how about this one? You can see it now, right? The screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know how the numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. From here, 1, 2, 3. For part A, 5, 7, 8. See that?
Okay.
Good. Now, from 1 to 2, means from 1 to 2, you see 12 months. So you type in 12 right here. Then from 2 to 3, 8 months. Type it here. So the construction network diagram will be given to you. Now, if you are the project manager, these numbers are not set on stone. You know the type of project you are doing, and you know the estimate of how long it will take. So you can draw your own network diagram, put the numbers to show how long, maybe if it's days or weeks, But in your own case, you'll be given the network diagram. It's just to ask questions based on the network diagram. Yeah?
Yes.
So now, when you finish by A, then from 3 to 5 is 12. Then from 5 to 7 is 4. You put 4 right there. And so on and so forth. From 7 to 6, 7 to 8 is 6. And you can repeat the same thing for B. For B goes from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. This is B here. 2 to 4. 4. 4 to 5. 5 to 7. Then 7 to 8. Now, from 1 to 2 is also 12. From 2 to 4 is 4. From 4 to 5 is 18. So that's how the numbers come. That's how you get the numbers.
Okay.
So now having said that, now, like I said, we have calculated this one. Let us go to Power Presentation and see the conclusion on what we did. And I actually have it here. And I put them here too for you to see, to use. Now you can have that. The table has now shown that the critical part is 44 months. Is part B is the critical part with the time requirement of 44 months. And the slack time is the critical part minus the parts that we are interested in. Like here, the parts it says on the question that say how much slack time is available in the part containing the operations manual preparation. Note that the operation manual preparation is on part C. So this is where it is located, in part C. So on that part C gave us 36 months. Just subtract it from the critical part. You get the slack. Okay? So the slack in part C suggests that other things being equal, the manual writing activity could fall behind by 8 months, which is our answer you can get here, by 8 months, before it could jeopardize the finish date for the project. Any question before we round up? Guys, any question before we round up so that you can start working on your classwork?
Oh, yes, I have one more thing. So basically, once we get all the numbers, we're just adding them up. So after that, are we done or do we keep going? Like
when we add it up, the one that is longest become the critical part. And then if you're asked to calculate the slack time, you subtract that from the slack from the task that is I would say depending on the way the question is asked, subtract that for that task.
Oh wait, can you go back to the Excel real quick?
The Excel? Oh, Excel, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yes. Like now.
Okay. So you're saying that once we get A through D, but whatever how many it is, you add all of them up.
Yes.
And so are we already giving the critical path in the no, so the critical path is, you said it's the longest one?
Yes, the longest yes, sequence of parts, yes.
And the slack with 8. So you're saying that we subtract the critical path from the slack?
You subtract the critical part from let me show you how it is it depends on how the question is asked. For example, in this case, they told you they say how much slack time is available in the part containing the operation. So you that part, that task, that specific task they requested, that's what you're gonna subtract that task. How long it takes for that task. That's that part where the specific task is located. You subtract it from the critical part to get the slack time. For example, in this case, it said how much slack time is available in the part containing the operations manual preparation. And he said that this manual, because he didn't show it on the chart. That's why it says there that note that the operations manual preparation is on the part C. So
okay. So it changes path. It can be on any path.
Yeah, it can be on any path, exactly. So the part where that activity is located, you subtract it from the critical part to get the slack.
Okay. But for the classwork, it's saying that find the critical paths for the two numbers shown below. So is that what you just did? You found like with
Yes,
the
yes,
diagram.
that's what I just did. I just get follow all the paths, like and calculated how long it takes to complete them, the task there, and then the one that is longest become the critical path.
Okay.
But that one I didn't ask for slack time. I didn't. Yeah.
Right. So how are we supposed to do with these? Because that's different than what the diagram you showed.
There are two of them, A and B. So you have to do this one, then do this one separate.
I
Right,
had
but
a question
it's
about
the
this.
different diagrams. So, from the example that you showed. So how are we supposed to like know like how to find them instead of because like it's not labeled like A and B.
It is labeled. This is A, E, B. So it is labeled.
On the Excel, like for this one, so for when we were writing the path down on Excel, what is the path called? Like since the A and the number, like the letter and the numbers are grouped together.
You see, the paths, if you look at, I can't tell you on this one, but I can tell you on this one. The path is where you see, if you look at this one, go this way or that. See, you can see this is where they started. This one is to this point.
Yeah, so that one would
Uh-huh.
be called like
So now
path
you go this one. You can go. I call this one part A because it goes from here. So you can just find the path, follow your path, follow it where it stops to the end. The direction you follow to the end, that is the path. Then you go start from the beginning again, go the next direction. Because if you look at this one, I go from here to this point, to that point, to that point. Then this is another one. You go from here. So you start from the beginning. Follow it straight where a direction. So I just put A, B, C just to as an illustration. But
So like when you like were adding the numbers that correlated, like for example,
not really correlated, but
Midnight.
the just like I'll put it this way. If you are going to Washington from Baltimore, there are different paths you can follow. See? Follow this one, follow that one. So if you follow this, let's say you follow this one, one to this is part A. It goes straight from this point to this point. See, this
No,
is
like I
A.
know that, but I mean
Uh-huh.
like
So follow it for each of them, but for each of them you have to start from the beginning.
so we're not having to add up any other numbers. You just want us to label the path
The one that is in the part that you're gonna add, just like I did here in my Excel. You put them in Excel and then add them. Like this
I
one.
know, but I'm saying for like the homework or the
Classwork.
classwork, there's no numbers
There's numbers on it.
At least for the first one, so those numbers like
There's numbers in the
7.
circle. It's a circle.
So those are what we add.
Yeah, that's numbers in the circle. Then this one is for AON. Remember the AON, I told you that the activity is in the circle. That's why you have the number inside the
A and B
circle.
together, kind of like whatever. Like
This is start A E H to finish is one part.
Oh, okay.
So for this one, see, this is activity on node. For this one, activity is inside the circle, not in the arrow. That's why you don't see number in the arrow.
So it'd be like A E.
For this one, but this one,
E F stuff
huh?
like that. So
Say
are you
it again.
saying like it would be like A E H and then that's finished, then like A C F H and then that's finished. Like that's like the different paths.
This is another part. A from here, you start from here to A C F H to finish.
Okay.
So this one, but this one on the right side is activity on arrow. In that case, activity is on the arrow. That's why you see the numbers in the arrow.
Oh, I get it. So instead of that being letters, but it's the same thing.
Yes, but this one is
the
the activity is inside the arrow. I'm sorry, inside the circle, but one is not in the circle, it's in the arrow.
So it's like 1, 2, 5, then 8, then 1, 3, 5, 8, like the different paths.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. I think that's it. So I just find the critical parts. Do this one separate, and get the critical part. That's all. Let me see.
Okay, so after that, are we just finding like the longest one, or are we just finding the paths and that's it? Like we just write down the paths.
The critical part is the parts, like I said, the part that's the sequence of activity that is the longest, like I did on this one. You look at this one, this example that I did for you here.
Yeah,
let me go to the PowerPoint.
Cause that's not saying find the slack. So after you find like the longest path, then we're done.
Yeah,
Because
you're not finding this. You're not finding the slack.
okay,
Just
We're just
define the
finding
critical path.
critical path for both.
Yes, you're not finding the slack. But
I
remember
have
to
a question.
yes, ma'am.
Is it possible if I could like share my screen and can you tell me if I got it right?
Oh no, I don't do. I only check work when I'm grading it. Yeah, I can't
Are you
tell you
not grading this?
when I'm grading it. I will check. That's when I will check it. I don't check it before you finish the work. No.
It's finished, is what I'm saying.
Then
I
if
just
you
want to make
finish
sure it's
it,
correct.
if you finish it, submit it for grading.
Mm.
Yeah. If you finish, remember to work with your group. Work with your group.
Well, it's only 2 people in my group. The groups are not even. It's like 6 people in one group, and then you have one
They're
group
not
with two
even.
people
The group are not even.
at
So,
all.
I did it intentionally. So work with your group. If you have 2 people only 2 people in your group, work with them.
Yeah, but we're trying to figure out if we're doing it right or not. Because if we're
Because
doing
it's
it
only
wrong, then we
us
can fix
two.
it.
I cannot. Remember, this is an assignment. I can't tell you which you're doing
Okay,
right
thank
or
you.
not. Yeah. So the assignment, I cannot guide you on the assignment. What I do is when you finish and submit it, then I grade it and make my feedback. All right, guys. So let me look at
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, when we take quizzes and exams, is it gonna be in person or
I don't give quiz. I give tests.
was that gonna be in person or online?
It's gonna be open book open book exam, and I'll put the questions in Canvas.
Oh, okay.
And that one you do it by yourself. It doesn't require group.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask why are the groups uneven though for the homework?
But the group are even.
Yeah,
Well,
like why is
well,
it 2 in one group and like 6 in it just seems like an unfair amount of workload between each student if the
Thank
groups are
you.
all
Thank
different
you,
sizes.
Kennedy.
it's not an unfair amount of workload for each group. If you go to if you're working in a like I told you in a project teams, different teams, they're not equal in the same team. Some teams are small, some teams are large. That's how it is.
Yeah, I just
No,
feel
but
like
I'm
it would be
asking
better
why
though
though.
if you just split it up. Like if you see it's a group of 2 people, why not try to divide that group into the other group so that it's an even work amount, well, workload for each person? Because it's like that's not really fair. It's 6 people doing 2 questions.
If you want, I can put you do it by yourself. I can remove you from the group and it'll be one of you, one, if that's what you prefer.
Well, I was just saying.
If you want to do it by yourself alone, I can remove you and then you stay on your own and do it by yourself. See, it's a team, a group, everything in any department, teams are not equal. It doesn't have to be equal. Some teams are 3 people, some are 5 people, some are even 7. It depends
Yeah,
on
we get
yeah.
that,
So
but it's the thing that like
just
we're all doing the same work, Professor. So that's the difference of the amounts of teams and numbers and the departments and stuff like that. They do different work, but we're just stating that okay, the whole class is doing the same assignment. That's it.
if you guys prefer, I can disband the groups and you do all the assignment by yourself. You prefer that one? If you prefer, I
It's
can
not
disband
about
them.
the groups. I don't mind working in a group. It's just that I feel like it's unfair to certain parties because it's one group that's only 3, then it's one group that's only 2, and then it's other groups that are bigger. That's all that I was expressing. But I don't have a problem with the group work. I was just expressing that I feel like it's not fair to all parties. But we can just continue with the lesson.
Yeah, so let us resolve this now. Do you guys prefer that I disband the group, everybody work on their own?
that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is why there's so many people in one group? It's like 2 people in another group. Like why the groups are uneven? That's what
Right, can you just even out the groups?
The groups are uneven
If
because the groups are uneven because I made it uneven.
But she's saying why? Like why did you make it uneven? Like what was the purpose of you making it uneven?
Then I gave you an idea. The first one when I say group at the beginning of the class, I just want to use this group because in real life you work in teams. So I'm replicating what you see in real life. Teams are not equal. They can work the same project, but they cannot be equal. Sometimes there are 3 people working in a project. There can be 5 people working in a project. There can be 2 people working in a project. So I'm just replicating reality.
I just prefer that we do it individually because it's very hard for all of us to meet to work on a project. So to get together in one place, it's like
How many in your group, ma'am?
I have enough people, but I think it's like 6 or 7.
So what's your name? So do you want to work alone then? So I can remove you from the group?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Tracy Moore.
Tracy Moore. Okay. All right. You're free. Work on your own.
Okay.
Remove from group. Group. All right, Tracy Moore, you are free. I'm going to remove you from your group. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. All right, guys. I'll see you hopefully by any of you been in the campus lately?
Yeah. Yes,
No.
last week, not this
Right.
week.
The snow,
Yeah, this week.
how is the snow, the ice cleared yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wait.
Okay. All right. In that case, that means we're going to meet in the we're going to meet physically in the campus next week then.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you have a question for me, sir?
No, it's gather groups.
Huh? You don't have a group? Page. And let's see. And a bit here. I think I have Chloe. All right.